Good morning, students. This is 12th standard botany video class, video 2. In this video, we are going to continue the lesson Principles of Ecology. Dear students, in the previous video class, we have seen the term ecology, which means dwelling place. The term ecology was first proposed by Reiter, but the definition of ecology was given by Ernest Haeckel. R. Misra was known as father of Indian ecology. Eugene P. Odum known as modern ecology. And Alexander von Humboldt known as father of ecology. And also we have seen two definitions of ecology proposed by Reiter and Ernest Haeckel. Both of them which are giving the common term, that is, ecology is the branch of biology which deals with the relationship between living organism and their environment. Then we have seen ecological hierarchy. The basic unit is individual organism. How this individual organism which are producing group of organism is known as ecological hierarchy. And they are showing the diagrammatic representation about ecological hierarchy. Then we have seen difference between habitat and niche. Habitat is the physical place, niche is the functional place. Habitat is shared by many organisms. Niche which consists of only one single organism occupied by single niche. Habitat specificity is exhibited by an organism, but organism may change their niche depending upon the time and season. Then we have seen ecological equivalence. That means different species occupying similar habitat in different geographical region are known as ecological equivalence with the example. Up to this only we have seen in the previous video class. Now we are going to see ecological factor in this video. Dear students, ecological factor. Many organisms which are exist in the particular environment. The environment which consists of three important factors. One is physical, chemical and biological factors or components. So these physical, chemical and biological compounds which affects the life of an organism when it is became a factor. All these factors are together is known as ecological factor or environmental factor. So in the particular environment, they contains different types of components, physical, chemical and biological components. These different components are affect the lifespan of an organism when it is became a factor. So all these factors altogether known as environmental factor or ecological factor. So these factors are classified. Already told you in the previous video class and also you all studied from lower classes. Biotic factor, that is living factor, abiotic factor or non-living factor. So these are all the two factors which makes the environment of an organism. However, the ecological factors are grouped into four classes. One is climatic factor, that means temperature, wind, water soil, that is said to be, not soil, wind, temperature, light, water is known as climatic factor. Next, adaptive factor, that means soil factor, topographic factor, and topographic means, that means latitude and altitude of the mountain, hill, slope region, that is said to be topographic factor. Biotic factor means living organism such as bacteria, fungi, which is present in the particular environment, that is known as biotic factor. These are all the 4 ecological classes of factors. Dear students, under this climatic factor, dear students, before going to see the climatic factor, some of the important topics are given in the do you know paragraph. Flowers of poppy plant, chicory plant, and dog rose, and many other plants, blooming of the flowers before the break of dawn. சூரியோதயத்துக்கு முன்னாடி. The time is 4 to 5 a.m. The flowers are blooming. In the evening, primrose open up with the onset of dusk. Dusk means Suryan Mared. That is 5 to 6 p.m. due to diurnal rhythm. So these are all the different climatic changes which blossom the flowers. So these factors are known as climatic factors. Okay. See that one. Climate is the one of the important natural factor controlling the plant life. One more question. Dash is the one of the important natural factor controlling the plant life is climate. Different climatic factors are, I told you, abiotic factor. What is that one? Light, temperature, water, wind and fire. 2 more question. Give some example of climatic factors. Book inside question. Light, temperature, water, wind and fire. Out of this different climatic factor, first we are going to see the temperature. Light is also in your textbook, but it is not included in your syllabus for this year only. So first we are going to see one of the climatic factor, temperature. First one, temperature is the most important factor which affects the metabolic activities of an organism. What is metabolic activities? Plants which are doing different metabolic activities. One is the photosynthesis, transpiration, respiration, growth movement, reproduction. So these are all the different metabolic activities. These metabolic activities are affected by an important climatic factor is temperature. Each physiological process which is taken place in the plant body requires optimum temperature, which shows the maximum metabolic rate. For example, if you are taking one of the metabolic activities, photosynthesis. For photosynthesis, one of the requirement is sunlight, isn't it? So, the sunlight is one of the climatic factor. Likewise, temperature is also very much important to increase the metabolic rate. The limits of temperatures are 3, can be recognized by any organism. First, minimum temperature. It will affect the physiological activities. That means the physiological activities occur in the lowest rate. Optimum temperature. The activities are maximum. The maximum temperature will stop the physiological activities. So whatever may be, minimum temperature is also not required. Maximum temperature is also not required. But optimum temperature only, it increases the physiological rate as maximum. So each and every organism which limits the three temperature, minimum, optimum and maximum. Based on the temperature in a particular area, Ronquier, a scientist, classified the vegetation into 4 types. First one, megatherms, mesotherms, microtherms and helicostotherms. In thermal springs means hot water, and deep sea, that means at the bottom of the sea. Hydrothermal vents where average temperature is exceed 100 degree Celsius. So thermal springs and deep sea hydrothermal vents, the average temperature is, what is that one? 100 degree Celsius is the important 1 mark question. Based on the range of thermal tolerance of salinity, based on the range of thermal tolerance, plants are divided into different types. Dear students, based on the thermal tolerance, that means temperature tolerance, plants are classified into 2 broad categories. One is said to be eurythermal, another one is the stenothermal. First one, eurythermal. That means plants can tolerate wide range of temperature fluctuation, that is changes. That means plants which can able to survive or adapt the particular environment with a different range of temperature. That is known as eurythermal. Example, Zostera. It's a marine angiosperm. It's an angiospermic plant which is living on the sea region. That is said to be a marine angiosperm. And Artemisia tridentata. These 2 plants which can tolerate different range of temperature in the particular environment. They can able to survive or withstand in particular ecosystem. That is known as eurythermal. Next one, stenothermal. The organism which can able to tolerate only the small range of temperature variation. Example, mango and palm, which is living on the terrestrial mode of habitat, living on the land region. These 2 plants are also angiospermic plant. They can able to tolerate only the small range of temperature variations. At the same time, mango plant do not grow, that means cannot grow in temperature countries like Canada and Germany. There is an example. That means they can survive a small range of temperature variation. At the same time, mango cannot grow. Do not and cannot grow in temperature countries like Canada and Germany. that is known as stenothermal. Dear students, important 2-mark question, differentiate between 3-mark question also. Differentiate between eurythermal and stenothermal is an important book back question. Kindly note down in your textbook. Eurythermal means organism which can able to tolerance wide range of temperature variation. Example, Zostera and Artemisia tridentata. Another one, stenothermal, organism which can able to tolerate, that means thermal tolerance with a small range of temperature variation. Example, mango and palm tree. At the same time, mango do not or cannot grow in temperate region of Canada and Germany. Dear students, next topic is thermal stratification. Is the important book back 3-mark question. This thermal stratification usually found in the aquatic habitat. The temperature is showing variation depending upon the depth of the water body. That is called a thermal stratification. There are 3 kinds of thermal stratification. One is epilimnion, metalimnion and hypolimnion. See the diagram. For example, this is the pond ecosystem which are showing 3 different range of temperature level. First one, epilimnion. Second one, metalimnion. The deepest pond water temperature is hypolimnion. See first one, epilimnion, the upper water layer of a pond which are showing warmer water. That means little amount of heat which is present in the temperature present in the upper layer of water. Then metalimnion, meta which means middle. Middle layer of zone, gradual decrease in temperature. That means when compared to epilimnion, the temperature level is very less. That is said to be gradual decrease in temperature. The last one, hypolimnion, the bottom of the pond layer which contains cold water. So upper one, warm water. Then the second one, metalimnion, the water level temperature is gradually decreasing. The third one, hypolimnion, the water is look like colder water. So those are all the 3 stratification of thermal stratification of pond water. It's an important 3-mark question. It will be very easy to write. At the same time, you have to draw the diagram for 3-mark question. Compulsory, you have to draw the diagram for 3-mark question. The 3 stratification of thermal stratification: epilimnion, metalimnion and hypolimnion. Upper layer with warm water, middle layer with gradually decreasing the temperature. Hypolimnion is the inner layer or bottom of the layer with colder water. Dear students, next we are going to see the temperature based on the zone, that is zonation. Variation in latitude and altitude affect the temperature and the vegetation on the earth's surface. The latitudinal and altitudinal zonation of vegetations are illustrated given here or given below or illustrated below. Latitude is an angle which ranges from 0 degree at the equator to 90 degree at the poles. See the temperature variation in latitude. It is 0 degree Celsius at the equator and 90 degree Celsius at the poles, that means North Pole and South Pole. Then altitude how high a place is located above the sea level. We all know that when altitude means we are going to measure the range of above the sea level. It's known as altitude. High a place is called the altitude of the place. Dear students, see the diagram. Latitudinal zonation of vegetation type. See, they given the equatorial region. So tropical rainforest, grassland of desert, deciduous forest, coniferous forest, tundra region, that means tree line, then ice, snow. So up to tropical rainforest to tundra region, we can able to see the plants cultivation, but the cultivation of trees are gradually decreasing. Then finally, the ice or snow region, there is no cultivation of a plant. That is said to be temperature of, based on the temperature in the particular zone, how the plants are cultivated depending upon the latitude and the altitude. Second diagram which are showing altitudinal zonation of vegetation. So first one, tropical rainforest. Second one, grassland or desert. Then deciduous forest, coniferous forest, tundra region and snow region. And also they are given the trees ranges which is present in the different forest. Tropical rainforest, which is darkest green in color. Grassland is also green in color. Deciduous forest, light green in color. Coniferous, pale green. Tundra, very very light green. Snow region, there is no trees, so it's look like white in color. So these are all the different altitudinal, depending upon the high level of a place. Which one is high level? Snow, isn't it? So that region is the snow region, highest place. So when gradually decreasing the plant cultivation depending upon the altitude, that is said to be altitudinal zonation of vegetation. Next, we are going to see important book insight, 2 mark and a 3 mark question, timber line or tree line. That means up to certain height, we are unable to cultivate the plants, or we are unable to see the cultivation of a plants or a trees. That is known as timber line or tree line. It's not an exact line, it's an imaginary line. In a mountain or a higher areas of a land that marks the level above which trees do not grow. See the diagram, the which region trees do not grow? Snow region. So it is a high level of region. So we are drawing the imaginary line in a mountain or higher areas of land that marks the level above which trees do not grow. That is known as timber line or tree line. The high altitudinal limit of normal tree growth is about 3000 to 4000 ranges. See the altitudinal zonation, up to 3000 to 4000 ranges only the trees are cultivated. After that it is gradually decreasing. When you are coming to the 13,000, there is no cultivation of trees. That imaginary line is known as timber line or tree line. It's a very very important 2 mark, 3 mark and 1 mark question. The altitudinal limit of normal tree growth ranges from dash. Answer is 3000 to 4000 meter. So that is said to be the temperature based on the zonation. Dear students, next we are going to see the important effects of temperature is the important book bag 3 mark question. Temperature affects the enzymatic action of all the biochemical reaction in a plant body. It influences the carbon dioxide and oxygen solubility in the biological system. That means carbon dioxide and oxygen are in the gaseous state. The solubility of the biological system of carbon dioxide and oxygen is influenced by the temperature. And also this temperature increases the respiration and stimulate the growth of seedlings. Stimulate means tundra, isn't it? So it increasing that respiration process and also stimulating the growth seedlings. Low temperature with high humidity can spread disease to plants. That means in the air which contains high humidity, ஈரப்பதம் அதிகமாக இருக்குன்னு வச்சுங்க, it spread disease on the plant region. So that is said to be low temperature with high humidity. The different variation in temperature with moisture to determine the distribution of the vegetation types. So these are all the different effects of temperature is the important 3 mark question. Dear students, up to this we have seen one of the climatic factor, that is temperature. Next we are going to see another important climatic factor, that is water. Like temperature, water is also one of the most important climatic factor. The water which affects the important activities of living organism. And also we have the common term that life is originated in the water. %70% of Earth's surface is covered with water. This is important 1 mark question. Water covers more than 70% of the Earth's surface. We all know that one. Out of 100, 3/4 regions are covered with water. One region only covered with land region, isn't it? So that's why they are given more than 70% of Earth is covered with water. In the naturally, waters are occurred in 3 ways. One is atmospheric moisture, precipitation and soil water. See the do you know paragraph? Evergreen forest. That means lifelong. That region is look like always green in color. Because that region which contains heavy rainfall occur throughout the year. That is known as evergreen forest. Another one, sclerophyllous forest. They are showing 2 types of rainfall. Heavy rainfall occur in winter season, low rainfall during the summer season. Those forests are known as sclerophyllous forest. Is important 1 mark question. Heavy rainfall occur during winter season and low rainfall occur in summer season. These forests are known as dash, sclerophyllous forest. Dear students, the production and the distribution of plants is depending upon the availability of water. And also, quality of the water is also essential for aquatic plants. or aquatic organism. The water which contains salinity, that means salt. The total amount of water salinity is different for different water bodies. For example, 5% in inland water, that is fresh water, pond, lake, river, which contains 5% of salinity, that means salt content. 30 to 35% in sea water, 30 to 35% in sea water, and more than 100% in hypersaline water. They are known as lagoons. Hypersaline water means they contain more than 100% of salt content. So, depending upon the water salinity, water is also divided into different water bodies. One is 5% in inland water. 1 mark question, that is fresh water. 30 to 35% in sea water, and more than 100% is known as hypersaline water. Hyper means high amount, isn't it? Saline water means salt water. So they are known as lagoons. These three are very, very important. 1 mark question. And also book back 2 mark question. Write the different water bodies based on the water salinity. So based on the tolerance of salinity, the organism is also divided into 2 types. One is uri-haline, like urothermal, and stenohaline. Stenothermal, we have seen in the temperature, isn't it? First one, uri-haline. The same definition. What is that one? Organism which can tolerate temperature with any range of temperature variation. That is known as uri-thermal, isn't it? The same definition, instead of temperature or thermal tolerance, we can able to write organism which can live in water with wide range of salinity or salt water. Example, marine algae and Marina angiosperm. That is known as uri-haline. Next one, stenohaline. Organism which can withstand only small range of salinity. Example, plants of Azorees, known as stenohaline. Like uri-thermal and stenothermal, uri-haline and stenohaline is also very, very important 3 mark question. Definitions are same, but you have to change. Instead of thermal tolerance, you have to write salinity. Okay. Dear students, see the table column. Some of the thermal tolerance and salinity tolerance are given here. See that one, tolerance of environmental factor. First one, stenothermal, uri-thermal, that is temperature. Stenohaline, uri-haline, salinity. Stenoecious, uriceous, habitat selection, that is Nick. Stenohydric, uri-hydric, water. Stenophagic, uriphagic, phagic means taking food material, food. Stenobathic and uribathic, that means depth of the water or habitat. The name itself answer is there. Thermal means temperature. Haline means salinity. Oceous means what is that one? Habitat. Hydric means water. Phagic means food material. Bathic means depth of the water. So this is the important 1 mark question, table column, that is tolerance of environmental factor. Dear students, I hope have you all understood different terminology under the environmental factor. Dear students, next we are going to see the examples of tolerance to toxicity. That means how the plants which can able to adapt or survive against toxic substance which is present in the environment. That is known as examples of tolerance to toxicity. Soybean and tomato tolerate the presence of cadmium poisoning by isolating the cadmium and storing into few group of cells and prevent cadmium affecting other cells. How they are managing the toxicity? See, soybean and tomato can manage to tolerate the cadmium poison. They are isolating the cadmium substance and store it in the few group of cell and prevent the other cell which are affecting the cadmium toxicity. That is the first example. So soybean, tomato, which one is the toxicity? Cadmium. 1 mark question. This question is also book back question. Next one, rice and Iconium, water hyacinth, tolerate cadmium by modifying into proteins. That means they are attach the cadmium into the protein content. By modifying the cadmium binding with proteins, they are tolerate the cadmium toxicity. Example, rice and water hyacinth, Iconium. So these plants are otherwise used to remove the pollutant from the environment. That means they are removing the toxic content which is present in the environment. Toxic content means polluted substance, isn't it? So they are known as phytoremediation. You already studied in applications of biotechnology. Phytoremediation. By using the plants, we are clearing the pollution from the environment is known as, what is that one? Phytoremediation. Phyto means plants, remediation means clearing the environment. So, the plants such as soybean, tomato, rice and water hyacinth, they are clearing the cadmium toxicity from the environment by changing the activity of cadmium, so that these plants are known as phytoremediation. So these are all the different examples of tolerance to toxicity. Dear students, use some example of tolerance to toxicity. Is a very important book back 3 mark question and also 1 mark question. Dear students, I hope have you all understood different climatic factors such as temperature and water. Up to this, I conclude my video. Remaining, we will see in the next video class. God bless you. All the best, children.